everyone. My name is Alex Lott. Uh, I'll be going over what my essay is about for MCS 345. It's mostly just me going over what exactly ethnography is, how that relates to the self and the identity of individuals, as well as how that influences the misconceptions and the preconceptions of multiple cultures that are usually not as prevalent unless they are researched upon, like very indigenous or unrelated cultures that seem to not be in mainstream media. Before I do anything, let's go over what ethnography is. Ethnography is, from what I've known through our course materials, it shows a TED Talk with a Mrs. Ellen Avery's. She discusses exactly what it is and why it's so important, and I thought that it was a very good demonstration of knowing what exactly it's all about. But generally, it's just a field of study in which um, ethnographers, a field of study in which um, customs are recorded and researched by people in order to understand cultures and individuals inside the cultures, see why we are so different from each other, and how we can relate to each other as a result of that. Several different types of ethnography called there's media ethnography that uses visual aids, usually like creative ways of um, making things like posters, pictures, uh, videos, documentaries, mostly stuff like that. That's how usually people are able to find ethnography in a common light. But there's also digital ethnographies and virtual ones that rely on internet interactions and mostly like things that you wouldn't really catch up on if you were on social media because you connect to almost everyone every day if you're on there, and it kind of defeats the purpose of ethnography. Yeah, I gotta cut that. The self ethnography, in which people, ethnographers, instead of observing uh, observing other people, you're observing yourself. You're researching who you are and why your identity is so like different from people in your community, different from people in general. How you are like usually bridges the gap between what kind of behavior you tend to have in the environment versus what you kind of are as a person. Say, I am a I'm a I am an African American male that's in a suburban middle class family. You can contrast that with any part of my traits here. It could be my gender, my race, my ethnicity. It could be the way I live, my class, how I'm able to use my legs, how I'm able to uh, form complete sentences, able to hear, able to speak, able to do almost virtually anything. How that relates to other people in my community. I know people that can't walk, can't hear, can't speak. So it's gotta be different every time, right? Well, I might be rambling on right now, but I want to discuss the importance of being an ethnographer, about ethnography in general, because an ethnography can really help you understand who you are out of the group by bringing yourself out of the group and finding yourself like within, but not, not literally within the group. You start to take away the factors that make you who you are, and then you try to relate that to other people, and that relation relationship creates this sort of like bridge between you and your community, what makes you who you are and why you are, you. In my mind, ethnography feels like this bridge between, cultures, different people. There are several borders, literal and figurative, that tend to tend to find like places that want to isolate themselves from other people, that want to become more independent, but at the same time they become disjointed, and they don't seem to have any camaraderie or a sense of you. Yeah, it's hard to be by yourself. It's hard to not relate to anybody, because if you're by yourself, then what can you be besides you? How can you compare yourself to other people if you refuse to connect to others? If you refuse to, say, talk to anyone? If you can't speak to anyone, you're speaking to yourself. All you have is you, and you can't rely on others. It's crazy. It feels like this new type of form of like xenophobia, that people of different cultures seem to not stem to reach out to others. They seem to reach out on their own. They can't elaborate on what they do to other people because they're untrustworthy, and they build borders that just stop uh, people's impeding on their own system. But eventually they're gonna need help. We all need help. We all need some help sometimes. Sounds. I feel like ethnography builds the bridge that helps people connect, helps people like come like relate to one another, and that's kind of one of the things I like about it. It feels like it, when you I well my I myself am not an ethnographer, but if I were to research and be an observer, I would want to know fully well what this community does. I would go, I would try to be like part of the community as a result of, you know, relating to them, experiencing newfound memories and events with them that makes me a part of who they are because of what they do in relation to me. Have this newfound sense of finding discoveries and insight about what people are doing around the globe, about what we we can do to connect to one another, how we find like an easier way to go through life without having to make assumptions. We just know because we would like connect to one another. We would help each other. That's exactly what I look forward to in the future, is that we help each other go so far. And I believe with the help, yeah, yes, the help of other people, don't forget about that, we can create something new. Please.